Welcome back to the Phroad Street Fandom Podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be covering baseball. We're going to go over the first week of the Phillies, as well as some of the other teams in the league and kind of how they did, and touch on some other things we have coming up in the future. So hope you guys enjoy it. So let's dive right in. Phillies, pretty good week so far. They started out with the Nationals at home last Thursday, and Wheels gets on the mound and does what Wheels does.
Yeah. I mean, thanks to everyone if you guys joined our live stream.
Yeah.
I still don't think I'm ready for a hot dog.
Recovering.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have a hot dog for another month. I'm gonna give it till May 1st.
I was at the game on Friday, and they're giving out free hot dogs in the box we were at. And I was like, no, passing on that.
Oh, good.
I'm
you guys
good on
have
that.
anything else besides that? That'd be great.
Yeah, exactly. It's like anything, literally.
Yeah, but no, I mean, once we ended our stream, unfortunately, is when the bats took off, right? Like waited until the 10th inning for the offense to pick up. So
yep. So,
but yeah, I mean, Wheeler dominant again. Like he's so good. He had that one home run that he gave up, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
you're allowed to make one mistake, right?
Mm-hmm. He just needs some run support, but he finally got it just after he left the game. So obviously he doesn't get the win.
Yeah,
but,
but no, he's such a good pitcher, man. I love watching him pitch. He's incredible.
Yeah. Thank you, the Mets.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys, loading up for others and letting him just come right to us. Appreciate that.
Nice little farm system.
Yeah, how's DeGrom treating them again?
Yeah.
He's not there anymore, obviously, but that's who they wanted to sign, and then they go out and get the Scherzer and Verlander, and I don't know. It's almost like it's like Sixers vibes, where it's like you go out and you get this pitching staff, and it's like, oh yeah, we got the big three, and none of them actually pitch or even they're healthy. So that was good to see. But starting the year off with a win is always a good thing, especially on opening day. So regardless of how many hot dogs we may have had or had not had, it was a good showing. So Saturday came up with another big win. It's dropped 11.
Yeah, offense was hot that day.
Yeah, Luzardo looked good.
Luzardo looked great.
Luzardo's looked really good.
Luzardo looks really good. Yeah. So starting 2-0 against the Nationals, you're putting those are the teams you need to beat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and then unfortunately they dropped one. They dropped the Sunday game. 1-5 bats just weren't there, and So it.
I mean, to start the year, right? Like you want your players to get the consistency to where they're coming out of spring. They have that little couple day break.
Mm-hmm.
They come in, then they have the opening day Thursday, off day Friday, then go back Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah,
and I mean, like obviously you would hope to sweep the Nats in that position, right? But
yep.
I mean, I'm not upset that they lost a game. Right?
It's fucking Josh Bell, man. That guy.
It's one of the things where it's the Nationals though, so it's still kind of like irks you, even though you're like, we took 2 out of 3, but it's like
yeah. But I mean, as Philly fans, we know like if we score 11 one day, the next day we're going to score 1-3.
100%. It's like we're getting no
and of course, they only scored 1, and then Nola. Obviously, a little disappointing.
Josh Bell just kills us too.
Yeah,
like he had a big 3-run home run there. It's like he always finds a way, no matter what team he's on, to just kill us. So, he's one of those additions. Like I figured, like especially last year, maybe the year before, I'm like, I could see him being a Philly addition at some point, just to be a bat.
That was my point to where the Harper thing. Like I was like, well, Bell can play first. You know, if you want to play in the outfield, Bell's a switch hitter. Like there solves all that.
Loves to hit in Philly, evidently.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, we have better options than Josh Bell at this point.
No, I know. But I didn't think we were going to spend. I didn't think we were going to spend that much money like on a Walker or something.
Yeah.
So I was thinking Bell would be reasonable.
Yeah. But that's why I was thinking it's going to be more of a July, August trade deadline guy. They go after, hey, let's get another bat to put in this lineup, and just try to move on from there. So I don't think it's ever going to happen. I mean, probably would have already happened by now, but it's also like, do we really have a spot for him?
Yeah,
not really.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
It'll just be occasionally here or there. It's we already carry too many outfielders, I think, anyway, with our rotisserie of center fielders.
Yeah.
So,
it hasn't been of lately though. Like besides Rojas, the one game they've been.
Hey, he can bunt now. Let's go.
Yeah. But they've been playing Marsh pretty consistently.
Yeah, there you go, Rojas. You're welcome, bud.
Listening to the pod.
Yeah, move runners, get on base, use that speed, bud.
Yeah,
how you get in that lineup.
But I mean, I think we're going to touch on it later in the episode, as well. But like Nola just always just leaves one hanging, and then it's just gone. And then here we are again. It's just like, holy shit.
It's like you get to a point where you're like, all right, he's pitching really well, and then it's just one inning that just kills him, and it's usually a home run.
And I think it was the fourth inning. Yeah, the bottom of the fourth is when
he gives up.
Josh Bell hit his home run, and it's like, God damn it, he's that second turn through the lineup. He just seems to not be able to make it anymore, and it's kind of worrisome, to be honest, right? Like, you want Aaron Nola to be your number 2 behind Zach Wheeler, and Nola will give you 5-6 innings most of the time,
and he won't miss a game though. So I mean,
he's always going to pitch. He's going to strike people out. It's just if you can get past that inning. But the thing that he has that Hamill syndrome too, where they don't score runs for the guy.
Yeah.
Like the 2 games he's pitched this year so far, he has 2 runs, and they probably did, like the first game So against the Dodgers, we'll just cover it now. They got a run in the first and nothing else after. Yeah. So he gives up 2 runs in the second, and just that's it.
Well, they have bases loaded too when they only got the 1 run. And
it's like they've wasted the home run.
I was like, that was inevitable to happen right there.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. So the first game with the Nats, sorry to jump back, but so Marchand caught Nola that game. Is there?
So is he going to be the Sunday catcher? Is that what it looks like?
Yeah, pretty much. JT's not playing Sundays.
I guess.
That makes
caught
sense. Today too.
He didn't play today either, so.
But I just wonder, like, if that's why Nola wasn't as comfortable, because I mean, giving up 5 runs, like he gives up 3, right? Like he's on the border of like a quality start every time. So 6 innings, 3 earned, but like to give up 5 is kind of like a little much for Nola. It's what you expect, right?
Exactly.
Like, you don't have to give up 5.
You're thinking the 3,
They still try to say that people still try to argue he had a quality start because of how long. And I'm like, he gave it 5. I know he didn't get offense on his side, but like 5 runs is not quality.
Yeah, I mean they didn't score a run until the 9th inning, so it's like they literally gave him nothing.
Yeah, they gave him nothing. Yeah, so there wasn't much.
They wasted a lot of opportunities. I know that they had runners on, and they just couldn't put anybody across the board. And you're just waiting for the dam to explode at that point. It's like, all right, well, Noah's going to have that inning. So you got to kind of combat.
And that's kind of been the theme this year, though, too, is ground and double plays they've done at a time. Leaving the runners on base,
and they can't score against starting pitchers for some reason.
They do all their damage on the bullpen, and it's like, hey, that's fine.
I'm like, usually the bullpen's the one you don't do the work against. But they were just.
And one of the things too, it's like the few games that Trey led off. Like the one thing that I enjoyed watching him, and it looks great this year so far, is he's taking pitches, he's working counts, and it's like the Friday night, for instance, like he's working counts and getting Yamamata out of the game. Like he was
and on base stealing.
Exactly. He literally produced 1 run in the Friday night game by just hitting the double down the line, and then he steals third and causes just havoc there, and he gets a run out of it. So that's what he's supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do as a leadoff guy. That's the speed that we wanted when we went out and signed it.
So I know he listens. My mom has a coworker who does not agree with Trey Turner leading off.
Oh,
he does not agree with him. Mike, I know you listen. So, I agree with. Like I said, we just said with Trey getting the steals and stuff. That's exactly why I want him at leadoff. I mean, we can't argue.
I mean, there's an argument like across the board. It's like you can say,
he had the back spasms, so we haven't been able to really see it yet. And then obviously Rob's switching the lefty righty thing. It's like, that's what we got to go.
So this will be my goal in mid-season. I'm going to look back through and see how the Phillies record
what the record is.
The leadoff spot
who's
each guy,
off, right?
Yep.
So we'll have like a good, like base to where we can see the sample size of saying like, we have 81 games or also Rick probably like 70 at this point.
Right.
And then we'll say, hey, you know what, like in how many games did Trey let off? How many games
what's the record
off and see where we're
exactly,
at. And then we can finally settle this goddamn debate.
It's a nice debate, though. I mean, it's obviously ongoing everywhere. Like everybody's talking about it.
And then we can phone it into Rob Thompson and say, hey, man,
we did the stats. Phroad Street did their homework. So Trey's the guy. Let's keep him up there. Let's keep the shore bomb in the cleanup hole, especially come June. Oh God, if he's gonna be hitting dingers in June, we need him in that 4-hole.
Yeah, especially if you put Bohm in the 4-hole. That's another
5 pitches.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll see. Obviously, like we can't really complain too much, especially the opening weekend series.
Oh yeah, I mean, they go to Colorado, and it's like we talked about it. Colorado is a team that they're a thorn, and it's like they can beat you, but you don't want to beat yourself with them. So they were able to get sweep them, which is great. But I mean, not all the games, they weren't blowouts. I mean, it was
again,
6-1, 5-1, and then 3-1. Yeah, but again, it's bullpen. It was all bullpen. So but hey, pitchers pitched and they pitched well. So there are some bats in that lineup, and the fact that they were able to limit the production. I mean, 3 runs they gave up over 3 games.
Yeah,
so.
I mean the starting pitching. I mean, outside of Nola's start against the Nats, right? Like they've been pretty locked in. Like,
Yep.
Wheeler's dealing as expected and as usual. Luzardo, he's been surprising to be as good as he is.
I mean, 7 innings against the Dodgers.
That was amazing. Yeah, and it's like he's striking him out. Like he's just I think him with Caleb and just that pitching staff and Art, like I think he's going to do so well this year.
Calling the game behind him. He said I only shook off JT like once the whole game.
Yeah,
and that's only the second time he's.
And then just speaking of JT, like god damn man, that guy literally shuts down any kind of running. Like he threw out 3 runners in
especially
3
Ohtani.
innings. Ohtani, and then it was a Chris Taylor to end the game, and then the inning before that threw another guy out. So it's like his defense basically wins games.
Yeah, and that's where it's we pay the man. Oh, bring him back. Don't let him walk, please. Like,
well, and that's the other thing. It's like, all right, so him, Schwarber are all on, and I think Casty too. They're all on contract years, right? Like this is
just
their last
JT
year.
And
is Casty still 2 years?
Still got another
Schwarber
year.
and JT are the only 2 right now that are up after this year.
I mean, you're looking at
Casty will probably
too.
be the year
after. I think
the year after that. But regardless, like you want to keep Schwarber and JT in Philly, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like, and it's like, why wait?
Yeah,
like just lock them up now. Like Schwarber has 5 home runs already in like.
That money, that price just goes up.
Right, and it's like, all right, he's your designated hitter. Like, just solidify that, sign him, extend him. I don't know if it's going to be 2-3 years. It'll probably be 3. He'll probably want 3. The Phillies probably want 2, and it's probably going to be in that $25 to $30 million a year or whatever. So it's like, just sign the guy, just lock down that DH, because I don't think we have a guy in the farm system's going to be able to come up and have that production. So why let it go?
Yeah. I mean,
especially when your window with Harper and Trey and all. I know they're here for a long period of time, but it's like, let's take a shot at this window.
Yeah, keep those guys, because they are pretty much cornerstones of this window, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's your Harpers, your Trey Turners are going to be here for the long term, but we still need guys like Schwarber, Casty, JT.
Yeah,
and then obviously your pitching like kind of comes in there as well. So we'll see what they decide to do, but I definitely want them to keep both Schwarber and JT.
Yeah, it would be nice if they can lock up JT. Just a couple more years.
And I don't see that he's like, I don't necessarily know if he's willing to do like the hometown discount and stuff.
Yeah,
because like he wasn't drafted in Philly. We traded for him from the Marlins, brought him in, but like he's pretty much been, most of his prime has been in Philly.
Yeah,
and I think that the city connects with him well. Like he's everyone loves him in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think that he's got like any issues to where he doesn't like the city. But I mean, I would definitely think that he could try, and the Phillies have enough money and revenue where they can go out and pay the fucking guy, right? Like,
yeah. So it
shouldn't be an issue about money to where he's going to go sign with another team for $10 million, right?
Like, and a lot of the money that they have falls off next year is probably because of those 2 players, coming up, as well as some other contracts that probably extended into those years or into this year. But it's, I think they have a window still of 2-3 years. And I think their pitching staff is, where it should be to make a good run over a couple of years. So you might as well keep the core as much as you can.
Yeah.
They need to go next door and call Howie and see if he can get in there. And
yeah.
Maybe he can find
something with the cap.
Money
the only thing the cap baseball doesn't have caps.
I know.
That's the biggest issue.
He'd be like, "Oh, guys, I don't know. I don't understand this.
What is this? I don't get this.
Yeah. I have as much money as I can spend. Holy shit! You guys should be using this then, maybe."
Yeah. So no, it's I think they're definitely 2 guys that that they should go out and extend for sure. I mean, and then speaking of it, I mean, JT certainly was critical, especially with the series against the Dodgers. The Dodgers come in and out of the gate 8-0.
Yeah.
Crushing teams. Well, 7-0, whatever it ended up being. And then, we take the first one on Friday, which was great. They tried to give it up. Little Dicky is killing me right now.
Awful.
Romano, whatever you want to call it.
He wants to be called Romano. He's not being called fucking Romano until he actually gets some goddamn pitching.
Your name does not matter unless you do not give up runs.
Been dog shit this year. Benefit 1-year deal. So
yeah, it's a prove it deal. So maybe one of these days you can figure out throw a freaking strike.
But I mean, this kind of goes back to like a lot of my like disappointments in the offseason is not going out and getting a solidified closer, and you let. Granted, I'm not necessarily the best guy, but like he at least ended up getting saves. He would make it messy, but there would still be saves.
I think Alvarado's the closer at
that
this
seems
point.
to be what they're doing now,
I think that's like, and I know we talk about it before. Rob likes to throw him in situations where their best part of their lineup is. So he may pitch in the 8th, he may pitch in the 9th, but I think between him and Strom, those are the two guys that they're going to throw. Yeah, to close the game out.
I 100%
I know Ryan should be ahead of Romano too. Like Romano should be like your fourth.
No, we call him Little Dicky until he actually does something. Actually, no, Little Dicky's better than him right now. So
I say Little Dicky's more respected in the
he
city
is. Oh,
than Romano is right now. So sorry, Little Dicky.
Yeah. No, we 100% love you.
Yeah, yeah.
This Romano guy just looks like you just constantly high, but yeah. Not a huge fan of his performance so far.
Yeah, I mean, he just hasn't like he was doing very well in the spring, and it just hasn't come through against
they were hyping
consistent
that up,
major league lineups, right? Like you dominate in spring against lineups that are consisting of both major league and minor league players.
Yeah.
And then you come into the majors and you immediately give up issues and
he's walking people. You can't come in and literally walk somebody.
Yeah.
First at bat, like it always happens. You walk that first guy, they're going to come around and score. Yeah, no doubt about it.
So I think there have been a lot of issues with him this year, but I mean, maybe if we take him out of the closer role and we throw like Alvarado in as our closer, that'll be better. I mean, today, right? We'll touch later on today's game.
Oh, we can get into it now. I mean, today's game, he comes in and
I mean, he comes in and he just dog shit, right? Yeah. And then Kirkland comes in to try and clean up his mess, and then it goes to Strom, and then it goes to Alvarado, and then they close it out.
Strom pitched perfect. Yeah, Strom and Alvarado.
So that's like great on Strom and Alvarado for getting it done, but like also like shout out Stott for showing up and making a hit.
No, it was a good hit. He had runners on. It's like the team in general. It's like, this is it's a big weekend, quote unquote. Like it's not.
We took the series against the defending World Series champions.
Exactly. Who was also 7-0 coming in. Like were like everybody's saying that this team may be the best ever. Yeah. And I still think that they very well.
I mean, we held Ohtani to one hit for the entire series. Mm-hmm. That's, I mean, me, that's like I love watching him, and I'm like, it's okay to suck this weekend, but
next weekend,
next weekend, do what you want.
I really think that a lot of that is attributed to the starting pitching.
Yeah, no, it is.
Like the starting pitching was very good this week.
Mm-hmm. Like we said, Luzardo was a stud, absolute stud.
Yeah,
he kind of set the bar, and then game 2, Nola. I mean, he didn't pitch terrible. He just had no run support. They lost 3-1 to the Dodgers. And
and that's not terrible to give up 3 runs, right?
Like, no, not to that lineup. Hell no.
Like that's. I mean, their lineup obviously missing Freddie Freeman for.
That was one benefit. I mean, we don't want to miss. Like, he's always been a Phillies killer. Always, even when he was with the Braves.
I mean, for the Phillies to go against Yamamoto, Sasaki, and Tyler Glasnow, that's a fucking hell of a rotation.
And they scored some runs too. It's like I know Yamamoto, they didn't score on him per se, but
regardless,
that one error that he threw that on the
right. But once they get into the bullpen, but again, back to what we were talking about before, it's like Trey working counts. Like they were working pitches to get him out, and if they can get the starters out and work these counts and stuff like that, and take advantage of these bullpens, that's how they're going to score some runs. But it would be nice to see the runs early on in the game.
Well, some fans thought we would that Sasaki game. They thought we would destroy him because he's had a rough start in his first 2 starts, and people were like, I guess he was sort of crying or something in the dugout. I don't know if he was.
Come on now,
right? But Phillies fans are just like, oh man, we're going to destroy him, and then he come in there and we couldn't even hit his forkball or whatever he has, the curve or knuckle or whatever he's got.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know why we're talking shit. Like we haven't even faced the kid yet. Like we might not hit him, and then we didn't. We didn't
see that. That's why Philly fans get so much like trash is because it's like takes like that, right? It's
like someone make a poster of this and hold it up. I was like we haven't even the kid's 21. We haven't played any innings against him. Why are we yelling at him or talking shit already? Like,
well, that's the thing too. It's like anytime that a team brings up a kid from the farm system or like the minors, they always pitch well against the Phillies for whatever reason. It's like they have no book on. They're like, I have no idea what this guy's going to do. Yeah. So it's like they make him look like a Cy Young pitcher.
And then you got to take some pitches because if we're talking about that same game, we can bring up Boone because he didn't take any pitches that game at all. He just come up there and he's swinging at everything. I mean, Harper got on base in the 9th, and then he just goes, "Oh, I'll just don't play it right now." I'm like, dude, come on, like you got to take some pitches, man. You can't just.
Well, I mean, it was
Yeah.
one three pitch save.
Yeah, I'm like, it's just you
So,
can't have
yeah,
that.
that's
This
tough.
is
But I mean, honestly, like, you know what? We took 2 or 3, so we can't be upset about like the results of it.
No,
right?
like I
There's
mean,
opportunities in a lot of the games that they could have done, but like we also made some bad mistakes too, right? You know, like
yeah.
yeah, they ran into outs like
Yeah.
The stop,
the stop, but and
sacrifice
it's like
fly thing.
you know he runs there. It's like you get the green light to run, so he gets doubled off, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you look at it on Friday night, he did the same thing with Marsh there. So he's
Yeah.
running on the pitch. Marsh grounds out, but he takes the double play out by running. And so now a run scores. He's at second. Marsh, they're only able to get an out. So he basically produced a run by stealing there. So
Yeah.
I would rather them be aggressive on the base paths and actually run. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
base pass for
sometimes
sure, but at the plate, it's the because I mean, look today they had 11 walks and
Yeah.
they produce a lot of runs off being
Yeah,
very
I mean,
patient.
so the weather I think impacted Glass now mightily in the what was it, the third inning, the
fourth
bottom of the
inning,
third
He
inning
was having
because
trouble with his cleats.
he walked 3 guys and then threw a wild pitch and then they pulled him and Cassie
he bombed that thing.
Rest in peace to whoever died at that time.
Well, they say check on your loved ones. Check on your loved ones.
But I mean, maybe it was because Ovechkin beat Gretzky's record.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats,
Ovi. I mean, that guy has been an absolute monster.
For this record, you didn't think that you would see breaking?
No,
never.
It's like you thought that was going to stand, forever. And he that just shows his longevity and just how good of a player he is. So hey, congrats, Ovi. That well deserved. Well deserved.
Absolutely.
And like I don't want to get too much into hockey, but I love the fact that like he actually said, I had an opportunity to open goal, like an open net to break it, and he was like, I don't want to do it that way.
Yeah.
Like, again, just quality guy right there. So, again, congrats. So
yeah.
Wish the Flyers could do something to make it, hockey.
Though,
Hey, there you go.
Ovechkov is the next Ovechkin, is what I've heard.
Hey, he looks good. He looks good. I'm not saying he's
now
Ovechkin,
that Torts is out of the way,
hey.
he doesn't bench him in the middle of a game. So, yeah, maybe we could get him out there and play a little bit.
So, no, I am excited to see him. So that'll be all our hockey coverage today. But
But so again, Castellanos, massive
Casty, baby. Yeah. No,
sorry for sidetracking everybody.
But then we slowly see our run. So we're up 6-2 at that time, and we just see it dwindling away.
I was like, I've seen this story before.
Oh yeah, and it's like once they took the lead, I thought they were done. Like I was like, there's no way they're coming back. Like they've already scored their runs. This game. But then they're working walks, and it's like like as you mentioned earlier, Stock comes up, nice little bloop single, gets the game. He ties it up, or moves us ahead, and it's like they're able to get the runs, and then the bullpen comes in and saves it up. So
they do their job.
Exactly. So, and again, against that lineup to take 2 or 3, I mean, against that team, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So.
And again, like I said, it's you look at their rotation, and we have the offense to be able to compete with the Dodgers for sure. The starting pitching on our team, I think, is at this point is better than what the Dodgers have. Right? They just lost Blake Snell to the IL. So I think our rotation stacks up well. Our offense can stack up well with the Dodgers. Obviously, Freddie Freeman coming back will be a big thing. Yeah, but I think right now, like we are right up there at the top of tier of baseball.
They proved this weekend they can compete. Again, way too early, but they can compete with the best of the best. Yeah. So when we're putting them in our hierarchy of teams, I still think the Braves. I mean, they had a gauntlet.
Tough start.
I mean, you start out 0-7 or something. Oh, I absolutely love to see it. But it's like you go to the Padres, you're out west.
I feel sorry for him.
You go out west, you lose all those, and then you play the Dodgers, and it's like that is a tough start of the year. And then I think they won the other night, so they're one. And they dropped another one too.
They're the Marlins. They're
the Marlins. Yeah.
So I mean they won a game. They were 0-6 or 0-7.
Yeah.
And they won one, and now they're 1-8.
Yeah.
So they have not done great.
They're not healthy. I mean,
we all predicted them, I think, to win the division, right?
Yeah.
And we all
I still think.
I think we all had them there. Yeah.
You didn't take the Mets? I thought you took the Mets.
No, unfortunately, the Mets are what I thought the Braves would do. The Braves are doing what I thought the Mets would do.
They're right on our heels. They're 6-3.
Yeah, they are. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, like this is extremely early in baseball season to talk about anything.
Look who we opened up with. I mean, we opened up with the Nationals and the Rockies. So it's like you expect us to at least win 5 or 6 of those games, and then the Dodgers taking 2 of 3 for them, that was huge. I think that's been the highlight so far of this year. We certainly didn't have the start that the Braves had of, competition that you have to go against. They're also still hurt. I mean, they don't have Strider and Acuna. It's like that, like Acuna.
They lost Lopez for 60-day IL, another starter.
Yeah, and then they lost Profar.
The cheater. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but
we'll see what comes of it. I mean, I still think the Braves are going to be a threat. Like I'm not
100%,
writing them off. 2 weeks in, like they're still a threat. Like it's going to be.
I mean, they play us Tuesday, and they could easily take 2 out of 3 against us and be like, "Great, and we thought we were going to whoop them." And
I can very much see that too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So. Like they're looking at that. It's like, okay, we're already down in the hole against in our division. This is how we get right back. Is we take 2 of 3 or 3 of 3 against the Phils, and
like they do play us well. Like right, like every game that the Phillies Braves play, it's typically a pretty close game, or they're the team that does beat us when we should beat them, and we're the team that beats them when they should beat us, right? Like it's a good rivalry between the two teams. So we'll see how it goes this week.
I mean, projected pitchers will have, they're going to see Wheeler. They're going to see our favorite Taiwan. Hey, shout out to Taiwan.
Oh yeah, he did pitch good.
He pitched his ass off. There you go, Taiwan. Yes, If we're gonna congratulate, we give him shit. So might as well,
Here. All right, here.
Congrats. Way to pitch, bud.
Golf clap. He pitched well against the fucking Rockies AAA line.
Apparently, he does really good against them his whole career.
Dude, his mom was in the stands. Maybe you should just follow him around. Like here, just like
congrats, Mama Walker.
Yeah, there you go.
Your son has paid off your house and everything else that you could ever own.
Yeah, so we'll see what he does against the Braves, but maybe we can repeat. Have a good performance. So we'll see. We'll see what they have, coming up against the Braves, and then going into the weekend they have the Cardinals. So it's I think obviously you want to take 2 or 3 from the Braves. 3 of 3s would be great, but
I mean we can't expect a sweep, right? Like I think if you go on pace of winning 2 out of 3 every series, like you're going to be around 90 something wins,
right? Yeah,
so that'd be awesome. And then obviously like you're going to run into those random series where your team
you're going to have streaks for like 2 weeks where they can't have like buy a run. They do. They're very streaky. So right now it seems like the streak is in our favor, but we'll see how long that lasts.
And the Cardinals are 4-4 right
now. They're 500. So
they're playing decent ball. Like they've scored 55 runs. They've given up 43. So their pitching's been doing a little bit better than their offense has. So we'll see. Again, we previewed them earlier in the podcast, about kind of what to expect out of them. Outside of Arenado, they don't really have too much offense.
No, I don't see
kids are playing pretty well.
Yeah, I think we all agree that they were about a 500 team.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be the Cubs and Brewers that come out of that division, but, they still are a threat. So obviously the Phillies need to take care of business, especially with those types of teams like they've done so far this year with the Nats and the Rockies of beating these guys. Those are the teams you have to beat to get yourself to the 90 wins and compete. Because you're going to lose games against your Braves, your Dodgers, your Mets.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
But we'll see, how we stack up against the Braves. That's going to be an interesting series. Obviously, like, we are aware that they're clearly down some guys, right?
Yeah.
So, like, we should technically, on paper...
Build your buffer,
on paper, like, we should be, taking 2 of 3. But, I mean, the Braves, I think even with, missing Strider, missing Acuna, missing Profar, they're still better than a 1-8
Right.
So we'll see what happens this week, and then we go into Cardinals for the weekend, and we'll see what they've got.
Yeah, no, I mean like I said, they're 4-4. I mean, it's going through the divisions like we mentioned earlier. The Mets 6-3. They're right on our tail too. So they're there. They're scoring runs.
The Mets, like looking at the standings right here, they've only given up 22 runs this whole season.
Yeah.
They've scored 33, so they're not like offensively like beating the crap out of teams. Like they've just only given up 22 runs. We've only given up 29, so we've scored 45. But again, week and a half in, right? So our run differential, we're plus 16. The Mets are plus 11.
Yep. Yeah, and you look at it, and you got the Braves down. Like we said earlier, 1-8. They're not going to be there.
Yeah.
So the Nationals and Miami, they're 3-6 and 5-4. So I mean, they're kind of what we were figuring they were going to be.
Well, the Marlins is also because they just beat the Braves, right?
Yeah,
So that's interesting to see
Cubs
that. So
7-5 leading their division. We all figured that was going to be Milwaukee
yeah,
Cubs
the top two
who
teams,
comes out.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Cubs actually had a really good weekend against the Padres, which is surprising because the Padres were hot.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That
the
was another
Cubs
team.
came
It was
in
an
and have
undefeated
been
team.
playing well. And the Cubs opening up this weekend. I know the fans
It
in
took 2 or
Wrigley.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they lost today. Yeah.
Tucker's been insane.
Yeah.
Tucker's
Yeah.
insane.
Hey, that's what you pay for.
Imanaga's awesome. But yeah, so the Cubs, they're leading the division right now. They had a 2-game buffer because they started in Japan against the Dodgers. But we'll see how this division shakes out. I think it pretty much is a 2-team race out of them. Like who's going to win the most?
I just don't think like Cincinnati and Pittsburgh they're too inconsistent.
Yeah,
but the Reds have been extra bad. Like I didn't think they'd be as bad as they are. Like they were like getting no hit through 6 innings already the other day. Like it's not looked good at all.
Yeah.
Besides Daily Cruz, but
and then like we're looking at the West. Obviously we talked about the Dodgers. They're 9-2 now.
Second place
Padres,
Dodgers.
Second place Dodgers. Yeah. The Padres 8-2. So I still think those two teams are.
Yeah.
The top of that division, and it's going to be a battle towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, we previewed the Diamondbacks too, right? Like,
we said
they've actually struggled so far. They're 5-5, and I didn't expect this, but the Giants 7-1.
They won
8-1 now.
8-1
now. Yes, they are 8-1. So yeah, they're technically in first. So like they're off to a hot start. They made some acquisitions. We talked about Willie Adames going there. But again, 10 games in, 9 games in for some teams. Like we can't buy in this early, but I still think it's going to be the Dodgers running it and the Padres coming in second. But the Giants, sometimes they'll surprise you, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, they started out with Cincinnati. So, I mean, it's kind of where Cincinnati was, and then they had Houston. So,
yeah.
I mean, they took 2 from Cincinnati, and then they swept the Astros, which is actually kind of surprising. But, I mean, that's kind of where they are.
Jose Altuve in left field is the most fun I've seen.
Yeah,
he's just awful.
A butcher, yeah.
Oh, man, he can't catch, can't throw out of there. It's amazing. He struck out 5 times yesterday. That was fantastic, too.
And then after sweeping the Astros, they sweep the Mariners. So,
I mean,
they're playing good ball.
The Diamondbacks, they took 2 of 3 against the Yankees and then lost 2 of 3 to the Nationals. So who knows?
Played down to the competition. We have
who knows what you're going to expect out of that, right? That's kind of wild because the Yankees have been offensively this year have been insane.
Hey, those torpedo bats, they work well in New York.
Yeah. Subtle tip: Yankees bet the over. They've scored over 7 runs or over 6 runs in almost every game this season. So if you can.
So make sure tomorrow when you bet, you can blame Cam when it's the under. Yeah. I might bet the under just because.
Yeah, just don't parlay it because your other team's.
Yeah. So, but what do you guys think about the torpedo bats? They're.
I mean, it is what it is. Like I know that everyone's freaking out because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
Like it's going to be like the Yankees are going to do it, so it's fine." And apparently, all I've heard about it is that it's a legal barrel size. The weight is still the same.
Yeah,
it's just adjusting it to where it's almost like a softball bat instead of a baseball bat. If you've played baseball before,
yeah, I know. Bohm got one.
Stott ordered some.
He's still grounded out.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. But Judge isn't using it, right? Like Judge isn't using it. He got 6 home runs. Yeah. So like it is what it is. I mean, it's going to help.
You go up there with like Balsawood and hit a home run.
Yeah. So I don't think it's as much as people are making it out to be. At least in my opinion, like I don't really.
No, it's just a hot. It's just a hot take right now.
Yeah, it's just the Yankees hit 6 or 8 home runs, 9 home runs in one game, and they're all using this weird. They have
20 already in 6 games, so it's 6. That was the quickest to get to 20 home runs this season. I'm like,
hey, but you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? Like, but if it's still a legal bat, then like it is what it is, right? Like if it's going to make you a better hitter, then go out and get this technology, go get the bat from this Victus brand.
Yeah, it's just
making them all, and then that brand's going to make a ton of money off.
A Philly-based company.
And you're still going to put barrel to the bat. Whatever the bat has, you're still going to hit it. And then plus you got pitchers. Every pitcher that comes in there throws 100 mile an hour. So when you hit it 100 mile an hour back, it's going to fly. So I mean, it's not necessarily like they're cheating. It's just but it's the Yankees. That's why it blew out of proportion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And plus their ballpark also helps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, like I said, while they're using these torpedo bats, bet that over because they've been hitting they've been scoring a lot of runs. They've been giving up runs too. So like it's just keep riding that
and
over.
they got walked off today against
The
Pittsburgh.
Pirates,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go,
Tommy
Pittsburgh.
Pham. Yep.
So,
but yeah, we'll see if it becomes more popular. It was only a couple guys on the Yankees roster, but it was successful. And like we said, the Bohm had one very quickly. I know Stott has some on the way. We'll see if other players throughout the league decide to go down
if
that
it
route.
becomes like a productive thing, then like awesome. That's great for baseball, right? Like we love when we were growing up, right? Like baseball was the best in the like late 90s, early 2000s when you had the McGuire's,
home run
the
race.
Sosas.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing all this power and all these hits and stuff like that.
When the commissioners basically closed his eyes, put whatever you want in your body. I don't care.
As long as
Bring baseball back.
The ball goes over the fence and kids are happy. It's like,
yeah.
I'd much rather the baseball players change their bat than do steroids, right?
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But I think that it's completely fine. I don't know if Brock, if you have a different take.
It just looks weird. That's the thing.
I mean, it's just like I said, it's a weird. I don't think it really changes anything what they're doing. It's just like I said, it was the Yankees, so and then the whole thing where you have to customly order it, so it's not like it's available just to everybody to do it. Like, so if it helps that specific dude, if it helps any of us, sure. We just know it didn't help Boom, so we'll see if it helps Stott.
Yeah.
Boom can't help himself.
I mean, and baseball's always had these like thoughts, right?
They've tried.
They've tried to make it more offensive, to where they're trying to like they have the pitch clock,
juicing the balls.
Juicing the balls. I don't know if we ever have any like substantial like evidence of that, but yeah, I mean,
there was a year where home runs were very high.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was
they own Rawlings, so yes, they have the opportunity to make these balls go further, but. Yeah, I mean, it's more so the fact that like they are trying to make it more offensive, to where the pitchers are getting less and less like support from the MLB as an organization, right? They're trying to lower the mound to make it to where it's not like that, and it's like the pitching is just too good right now.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like offense is sexy. It's like football too. Yeah. It's like they're going to cater things to like score points. So same thing with like baseball. More runs, the more people are going to enjoy watching it.
Yep.
I mean, I really love watching a 1-0 pitching duel between just two aces, but not everybody can sit through that and enjoy it. Like they want to see runs, they want to see production, they want to see the ball be hit.
Hey, I would love a 15-2 game.
Oh,
I love that as well, because you don't have to worry about it, right?
Like, hey, we won today, all right.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree. Like the pitchers are kind of getting screwed on this, right? Like, they took away the ability for them to put spin on the ball because they got rid of the whole spider tack, all that shit. And then they're talking about lowering the mound and trying to, now the bats are coming out to where they've got this new technology to where the weight is shifted in the bats where they can hit more. And it's like the pitchers are just like, you got to be fucking kidding me, right?
Well, remember Strom even said it, because he's talking about how they look at their hands every time they walk off the mound. And he's like, these guys, they just get in his bats and go,
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
All MLB cares about, as long as the game's over an hour and a half, they don't give a shit what you do, if you score 20 runs and what bat you used to do it. They're just like, get this game over with already so we can move on.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, it is interesting, though. We'll see how it plays out for the rest of the year. It's helped a certain player or certain amount of players so far. And that's awesome that they're doing well. But again, if you're a pitcher, that sucks.
Yeah, exactly. So as we mentioned, like I said, the Phil's got the Braves coming up. Ideally we take 2 or 3 out of that. I think we have, other than Taiwan, they're going to see Nola, they're going to see Wheeler.
Do we face Sale?
So,
I don't know if we face him or
not. We would have to.
I would assume so, because he's probably going to line up with Wheeler anyway.
Well, we do have an off day tomorrow, so but I would assume that we're playing against them.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to pitch guys out of sequence. I know Wheeler's a guy that he likes that rhythm, so he wants to pitch every whether it falls in his day. Yeah, exactly.
Well, remember we had the confusion with Luzardo starting game 2, but it's because they wanted Sanchez to pitch home. But now I'm like, Luzardo at number 2 was actually kind of like, just keep it there for now.
No, it's like, Luzardo, but it's the thing. It's like, I don't think Nola cares where he pitches.
I don't think so either. Yeah,
I think Thompson's like, you know what? He's good where he's Nola good, whether he's home or away. Yeah. Sanchez's numbers are so much better at home than he is away. And it's not even like it's that much of a difference. He's just so good at home.
Yeah.
So having that home crown behind him, it's like, all right, let's put him in a spot to where he's going to pitch at home. Nola will throw you, in whatever spot where you can pitch away, and, because we trust you there.
Yeah. So Tuesday we're looking at Wheeler Sale.
Okay.
Wednesday, unfortunately, I think that might be the game the Phillies drop because it's Taijuan Walker. I think that might be the game the Phillies drop because it's Taijuan Walker versus Schwellenbach. And then Thursday is Luzardo versus Smith-Schwarber.
Okay, yeah.
So Wednesday, bet the over in the Braves Phillies game. Just throwing that out there.
And Tuesday, bet the over on but bet the over on strikeouts.
Bet the over on strikeouts between Wheeler and Sale, but bet the under in runs.
Yep.
Just a bet preview. So we'll see. I mean, but Wheeler Sale, that's going to be an awesome game to watch. Right?
Yeah, like that's literally what I just talked about. Where 1-0 game, where they're just two dominant pitchers. It might be a 2-hour game where it's 1-2-3 inning, 1-2-3 inning. So.
And that's the first time we've seen the Braves since the playoffs.
Yeah. Yep.
So
yeah.
But like I said, some good upcoming matchups, especially against the Braves, and then going in with the Cardinals. So we'll see. Next time we talk, how the Phils end up doing. But as many times as you can try to extend your lead in the division and beat the teams that you're competing with.
Yeah,
you just got to take advantage.
You got to get these early W's. Because they are what matters in September, right? Like if you lose a game on dumb shit early on, it's going to pay later in the season to where you're like, man, we really wish we had that one game back because that can be a difference between a wild card spot or a division title, right? Like,
exactly. Yep.
And that's where we'll see how it works.
Yep. So Cam, you want to talk about some of the exciting things we have coming up?
Yeah. So a lot of you guys, thank you for providing feedback and stuff, texting and everything. But what I kind of want to do is I want to open up like a mailbag. You guys can send in your thoughts on how we're doing, or if you guys want to send in like your takes, if you guys have any takes, or if you disagree with any of our opinions, or
if we're stupid and it's like,
if you just
idiots, tell us.
Just go ahead and just send us.
I hear it all the time.
Send us a DM on Instagram. You should be able to message us on Facebook, or if you want to email, shoot an email over to Phroad Street Podcast at gmail.com.
Phroad Street PH,
ROAD podcast or
Phroad Street,
Phroad Street Podcast,
OAD
at gmail.com. I'm assuming a lot of you guys are going to follow us on all of our channels anyway, but in Twitter, if you guys follow us on Twitter, throw us an instant message on Twitter.
Don't hesitate. Like I said, we like feedback, whether it's good or bad.
Comment on the YouTube, anything like that.
Yeah. Tell us how stupid we are.
And what we'll do is we'll end up we'll play some of the takes. If you guys want us to read them out loud and like discuss discussion points, we can use that as well. So definitely engage with us, and we're gonna eventually. It's a dog days of spring at this point, right? Like we haven't even got to summer yet. So, we're looking for people to engage with us and have some conversations. So if you guys have a take, or if you guys think that we need to improve on anything, feel free to shoot us feedback. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're actually going to think of some other fun things that we can actually do. Kind of like the 999 challenge. Some of us almost made it through. I don't know if, like I said, anybody listened or watched, but Cam made 8.75% through the hot dog. We all went on the over of the beers, but me and Brock called it out. We called it quits at 6. So our numbers ended up.
We held ours down. We kept ours in though.
I still blame the potato rolls. It was the potato rolls' fault. We had the standard Wonder Bread hot dog rolls that would have been fine, but
we had some water maybe too, like Joey Chestnut. Maybe that could have helped a little bit.
But again, thanks everyone for all the support. Really appreciate it. Thanks for likes, subscribes, all the engagement you guys do have right now. We're only going to get better from here, right? So.
Yeah, we're just faking it till we make it. So,
for sure.
Brock, what do you got? I think we have some exciting things with Twitter too.
So Twitter, I've been trying to get some people to follow us, get a little more engagement on there. Same with the Facebook and stuff. But if I follow you on Twitter and you have some ridiculous takes, I'm probably gonna call you out on my segment. I see some stuff all the time during games, just some takes of trades and stuff you guys think we're gonna do. If I see it, I'm gonna put it on here. And
the funny thing too, it's like Brock will have a post or something, and there'll be a bunch of comments there, and he'll comment on it, and I'll always just like hide that like in there. So Brock's always like,
I'm like, I'm one to definitely not argue, but like I will give you my points, and you can give me yours, and we can have fun with it. And I will bring it up on here. And
absolutely. So we're trying to get everybody engaged. Try to do some exciting things. If anybody has any ideas, like the 999
just
challenge,
throw them at us,
let us know. Maybe we can. It would be cool to do like a live, not live stream, but like maybe we go to a ball game. I know we have a couple Phillies games we're planning to go to later this year, so maybe we can do something with that. And we're looking for some thoughts and whatever, but what people want to actually hear or see.
Right, exactly. Right, yeah. Like, if you have any questions, just say question them. Like, how is this team going to do, or how do you feel about this? Just anything like that. Twitter, Facebook, all that. Like,
even if you want to know what not to bet. I mean, I'm pretty bad at betting right now. It's like, so if I throw out my bets, it's like, just take the opposite. You'll probably do that.
I'm ice cold myself, so yeah. If you guys want some bets and you want some winners, please just ask me what I'm betting on a daily basis, and I will tell you, and you take the opposite.
Yes. So, like I said before, Cameron's like, "Hey, Yankees over. Nope.
Yeah,
we're going to go under, baby."
That's the one. It's just don't parlay it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but no, I had a little success this weekend. I was traveling and did some live betting. Did some balls and strikes, just trying to anticipating what these pitchers are going to do. It's like, coming up in different situations. So I had a couple green. It's always nice when you open up the app and you have just green. Oh, it's so
Such
good.
a good feeling.
Because it's like all it is red. It's usually all red.
Yeah.
It's like just so I was able to, hit a couple of those, which is nice. Unfortunately, Duke cost me a bet. So I parlayed Florida. I think it was I had them -1.5 or -2.5, so they had to win by 3, and then I had them as a margin, so they had to win within 1 through 10. So they hit that, and then I did something similar with the Duke game. I had Duke winning by 1 to 10, and then I had the over of 136. So they hit the over, but unfortunately Duke. Well, fortunately, unfortunately, and there's a lot of fans here that don't really care.
There's
about
a lot of
Duke.
people see Duke lose.
Yeah.
It's like, we're good with that. But the way they did it, though, 30
I
seconds,
did.
and
I
they
did
blew
feel
it.
a little dirty, betting on Duke, but yeah. So they cost me one of my bets. But
I'm sure a lot of brackets had them winning.
I mean, my bracket had them winning, so it's like, but it was already gone anyway. It's like Michigan State cost me my bracket.
Not a lot of people had all one seeds going. Like,
No, again, 2008. We mentioned it before. 2008 was the last time all one seeds, and even in the women's bracket, it wasn't all ones, but I don't know how Connecticut was not a 1. That doesn't make any sense.
I saw they were 2. Yeah,
they ended up winning the thing, but it's like, why are they a 2? Like, it's one of the most dominant basketball teams ever, and one of the best coaches ever.
I think it was just that I think Beckers was hurt
for most of the year, and
throughout some of the year. It's where they snuck, or not snuck in, but got a 2 seed.
Got a 2 seed because of that.
But yeah, once she's healthy, and she dominated. Like, congrats to her and congrats to UConn. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with the championship tomorrow night.
Yeah, I have some bets on that one. Trying to think.
Florida is favored by 1.5 right now. The over is at 140.5. Money line, Houston's even. So that's kind of wild, right? Like, Houston plays very good defensively. Florida, that Mark Layton guy is crushing in this tournament. He's been insane to watch. He's the guy that runs their whole offense. So if he's playing well, then Houston's got a problem.
Yep. I have a so my bet on the game tomorrow, it's plus 368, but it's over 140.5, and I have Florida winning by that margin of 1 to 10. So if anybody wants to bet the opposite, you're probably going to win. So just take the under and take Houston. And congratulations.
Or ride with, man.
Or ride with. You could ride with. Maybe we'll all be happy.
And shout out Brian when you win.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, the tournament, like, obviously I think everyone was kind of thinking Duke was going to be the favorite.
Yeah.
To win it going into this weekend. They kind of pissed down their leg last night, right? They were up 6 points or 7 points with 40 seconds to go and lost. So that was wild to kind of watch. And we'll see. I mean, Florida's had a tough go of it. They were down yesterday to Auburn at half, and then down pretty late in the game, and then they were down beforehand. The round before, they were down as well. So we'll see what they got.
Michigan State. Yeah. Didn't they play Michigan State?
No, that was a different team, I believe.
No, yeah, but I do remember watching the
game.
But
yeah, so Florida, they haven't played the greatest.
They came back, They came back
and won.
Last 2 minutes of the game, that's when they seemed to shine.
But Houston, if you like watching defensive college basketball, Houston's what you want to watch, because they are a defensive powerhouse right now, apparently. And they're the number 1 basketball defense in the country, I believe is what it was.
Wow. Yeah.
So we'll see that what happens. But if they're going to win, they're going to have to score. Got to score buckets, right? So see how it goes. But I did take Florida in my bracket, as well as you guys said. Like, I had Florida beating Duke. And, seeing Duke last night was kind of like, damn.
Yeah.
They have Cooper Flag. He's the best player.
Hopefully the next Sixer. That'd be nice.
Cooper Flag. Well, he's a perfect Sixer because he fucking missed a shot late, and their team lost in the playoffs.
But is he injured?
So
I was going to say, is he injured?
He was injured 2 weeks ago. He rolled his ankle. So he's a perfect Sixer.
Yeah.
No, I saw a thing where they had him in a wheelchair. And it's like, look at that. He's already ready for the Sixers.
Yeah, it's just rolling right on into Philly. Yeah, can't wait. But no, so we'll see how it goes. But
yeah,
should be an exciting game. Like, should be fun to watch. I mean, the tournament as a whole was kind of been pretty bad, I think, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see, in my opinion, you're not going to see these Cinderellas like you used to because of NIL.
Yeah.
These players are going to go get paid to go play at any other college. They're not just trying to make a team because they just couldn't get in, academically at a university. They had to go play at some other school.
Right.
So I think that the March Madness tournament itself has kind of taken a little bit of a dip, but like not expecting to see just all chalked where it's all one seeds.
Yeah, I mean, hey, good job for the guys that set it up because they got it right.
Yeah,
I mean, even the Elite Eight, it was a mix of 1, 2s, and 3s. We didn't have,
I think there was 110 if I remember correctly.
Wasn't the Elite Eight?
Not the Elite,
Sweet
maybe 16, the Sweet 16. Yeah. It was Arkansas, I think. Not Arkansas. This is terrible podcasting. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Ole Miss was a 6 that was in the Sweet 16, and then you had Arkansas was in the Elite Eight. Yes.
Yeah. So
Arkansas and Texas Tech,
Auburn, Michigan State was 1, 2 out of the South, and then you have Florida, Texas Tech 1, 3. So Arkansas was the 10 that made the Sweet 16. They lost to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
And then out of the East, you had a 1, 2, Duke, Alabama.
Yep.
And then the Midwest, you had a 1, 2. So for the most part, it was chalk.
Yeah.
You had the 1, 3 seed that made it through. But yeah, like I said, I agree with you. I think, like you said, NIL and just the college sports in general right now, it's different than what it was. You're not going to see your Davidsons, making runs and stuff, just because I don't know if they're going to be able to afford, your Steph Currys of bringing them in.
But it could make the Cinderella stuff sweeter in the future because if you have a big team,
more meaningful,
more meaningful upset, yeah.
I mean, you look at the Arkansas team; it's where Calipari went.
Yeah, right.
And he took most of Kentucky with him, so it's not even like they're a true 10 seed, right? Like we should have been rated a little bit higher than 10, but that's the point I was just about to make. I mean, they upset number 2 St. John, Rick Pitino, coaching there, but it's like it's going to be interesting to see like kind of how college sports evolve with this new NIL initiative. Yep. So, I mean, this is just basketball. It's just the March Madness this year was a little upsetting. Florida game last night was awesome. Last night Duke's game was insane to watch.
They've been good games, especially towards these games.
When you get all of the number 1 teams, and then you get
so tomorrow's going to be a good game.
Who knows? It'll probably be a blowout. I don't know.
I said 1 to 10. I need it within 1 to 10.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. How it works tomorrow, but
might have a bad beat. Next time.
The committee did get it right when they have all 4 and 1 seeds go into the finals. But again, I know there was a lot of controversy going into what team made it into the play-in games and stuff. So we'll see what happens. But I think the NIL is something definitely to watch with college basketball or college even football.
Yeah, 100%. So speaking of bad beats, how about this? So we started a fantasy baseball league. A couple of our friends, listeners, joined us in doing a fantasy baseball league, and my first matchup was against our very own Brock. And I am crushing him right now, 9-1. He came to me the other day crying. He came to me the other day crying. He's like, "Do I have to play you every day?"
I was making sure we had the matchups thing set up right. I was like, I'm playing the same person again, like get my ass beat.
Yeah, I mean, there's 10 stats that we cover. It's on the offensive side: runs, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases, average. And then on the pitching side, we have wins, Ks, ERA, WHIP, and net saves versus hold.
That's my one win is the net save.
Yeah, you're crushing that one, but you're at 6. So just hope I don't have anybody pitching later. I might be able to tie that one
time.
too.
Yeah,
there's only one more game left. I think it's the Red Sox Cardinals, which is on right now.
Yeah.
Crushing Brock this week. Cam, how you doing?
I'm right here with Brock, so maybe this is the loser table. I'm getting my dick stomped in by Ethan right now. He's got Aaron Judge. So he's got a bunch of Yankees.
What
and
a
Yankees
homer!
fan.
Yeah,
Bunch of Yankees. He's got
he should change
24
his
home
name
runs.
to like Torpedo Ted or something like that.
Torpedo thing is what he shoves up his rear end.
But
so it's not a great start to the year, but that's fantasy baseball, right? Like
you're pulling a Braves.
It's a very long
You're
season.
starting out slow, and you're just going to wait till your guys get healthy and then go on a run.
Yeah. My fantasy team is the Mets. Is what I predicted to happen. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So I mean, we kind of mentioned what Brock's doing. Cameron's, like you mentioned, getting stomped in also.
Yeah, not great.
So I might be looking at the 1 seed going into next week.
Unless my team continues to do worse, then you may be fighting with Ethan for first. So
hey, there you go. So my matchup next week, I got Brandon. So we'll see how Brandon does. Cam, you got Tyler.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah, sure. We'll see how it goes.
And then Brock, you got Tony.
I got Tony. Okay,
you got Tony.
Got Tony. I'm up. Let's go.
Yeah, no,
Tony, don't beat up on him. Brock loves.
Should be fun. We'll start posting some updates on how our teams are doing throughout the weeks.
Yeah,
going forward, if you guys follow along, I know a lot of you guys are in the league with us too, so that's how.
And look forward to it. Like we're planning on doing football as well, so we want to open it up to listeners and stuff. We'll see. So the first week you have me again,
more confident in football than I am baseball at the moment.
I can't wait to be last place of our fantasy football league.
Speaking of football, because we're talking about fantasy, remember we were talking about my dynasty team. Trey Lance got picked up.
Yeah,
so he's still got a spot. He's a third string Charger quarterback.
The Chargers,
that's the best spot. Like I said, third string quarterback is the best gig in sports. You're never going to play. You get paid money, and you just hold a clipboard.
If you do play, everyone expects you to suck.
Exactly,
so it's awesome. Like what a gig.
Yeah,
what a gig.
Other than like bullpen catcher, I can't think of anything else that's like.
I think wasn't there.
Clearly, you get paid a lot more.
Speaking of bullpen catchers, I need to look at something. So let me come back to you guys in 30 seconds.
But no, it's bullpen catcher, third string quarterback, 100% best job out there.
That emergency quarterback they call it now.
Emergency, yeah. So it's like you're there. You sit in a couple of meetings every once in a while.
Watch some film.
Watch some film. Hold a clipboard. It's like
the starter going like, dude, I could have made that throw. Like
exactly. It's like, come on, dude. You give water out. You get paid millions of dollars. It's a great gig. Yeah.
Kick back, put your legs up. Yeah.
And just to jump in with a stupid fact that I just Googled here.
Fun fact with Cam.
It's really dumb once you guys hear me speak it out loud. But so in 2015, a 4-game series at Citizens Bank Park, Milwaukee Brewers bullpen catcher Marcus Hanel set a record for cheesesteak consumption, eating 23 cheesesteaks, surpassing the previous 3-game record of 18 held by Mets bullpen catcher Eric Lamb.
Oh, wow.
So shout out to Marcus Hanel for eating 23 cheesesteaks.
Dude, we should have invited him into the 999 challenge. He crushed us.
Yeah. We got to figure out the secret what Brady used.
But so that's the
not potato roll.
That's the fun fact.
What kind of cheesesteaks? What kind of cheesesteaks, I wonder?
It does not.
The Geno's? Geno's, maybe?
Where's out?
I don't see the actual.
Then while you're looking up, speaking of bullpen, did you guys see they added actual
yes, glass
windows, where they can, seclude themselves, not hear the fans of Philly.
It's because there's that one dude. I think he's named the captain. He's on social media. He yells at people in the.
But
he yells at the dugout.
Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome. But he's awesome. He just
all in good fun.
Him and the Braves one pitch guy, they have a whole thing. It's funny as shit.
But they did it on both, so the Phillies have it too. But
Well, also speaking of the Phillies, they have they're the first team in majors to have a fridge.
A fridge in the dugout. I did see that too.
Yeah, that's a wild. I love the Uncrustables out there.
Hey, the Uncrustables are legit.
They got cheese sticks in there, water, all kinds of water and stuff. Marsh needs the water bottle so he can waste one on his hair. But
you should stop wasting water.
I'm like, how is that not a thing already? How is a fridge not or any kind of?
I mean, they have them in the locker rooms. They're when they walk out of the tunnel, it's just the Phillies are just you know what, fuck it, let's.
Why do we have to walk? Let's
just put this right here.
Probably got some fancy ass water. And remember the fancy water they had last year?
It has the fancy water. It's the Harper water. Harper and
some kind of coconut waters in there, something like that.
They got
that good water.
Yep. That's what keeps them nice and healthy, longevity. Yeah, exactly.
The secret stuff, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Michael Secret.
Yeah, it's just Philly tap water in a fancy bottle.
Phillies tap water.
Water, yeah.
Water, water,
go.
right? Yeah, water, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot we're frauds.
We can pronounce it properly.
So that's evidence that we're frauds.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, thanks everybody for joining. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be covering, baseball again next week, and we'll touch on mailbag, Twitter, and fantasy bets. Everything we kind of covered today. So,
Yeah,
look forward to talking to you guys again.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.